When you're watching the Super Bowl on Sunday, you 100% knew what it was going to come down to. It wasn't Brady versus Mahomes per se. It wasn't BA versus Bruce Arians. It was all up front in the trenches. Whoever had the best offensive line performance on Sunday was going to carry the day. And the Chiefs did not have that performance. So they have Mike Remmer starting left tackle due to injuries to Eric Fisher. But you feel bad for Mike Remmers, former Vikings legend, where he had 2 Super Bowl performances, played right tackle in Super Bowl 50 for the Panthers against Von Miller, basically just handed him the MVP trophy. And then that left tackle performance on Sunday against the Bucs. Not great. Not great. It's like, how do you have 2 Chernobyls in the Super Bowl? But it's rough. But the Chiefs, Mitchell Schwartz, the solid right tackle, was also out. Kelechi Osemele shredded both knees during the regular season. Plus, remember, their damn good right tackle, Dr. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, opted out this season to fight COVID, with his medical background. Respect. But no excuses. I mean, every team had injuries, every team had opt-outs, and the Chiefs' offensive line was not great. Left to right, it was Mike Remmers, UDFA, Nick Allegretti, 7th-round pick, Austin Reeder starting at center, 7th-rounder, Stefan Wisniewski, journeyman 2nd-rounder, and Austin Wiley, UDFA. Great. The Chiefs' offensive line allowed a Super Bowl record 37 pressures, 60.1% of Mahomes' dropbacks. He got heat, plus 4 sacks. And it speaks to depth. Yes, you were missing 4 starters, essentially, and you had to start 2 UDFAs at tackle, and then inside you had 2 7th-rounders and the aforementioned journeyman free agent Stefan Wisniewski up front. Average salary of $1.4 million. It's not great. But hell, even if everyone was healthy, they still would have struggled against that Bucs front 7. They would have. Because Eric Fisher is no great shakes. Mitchell Schwartz is fine. But yeah. And it just shows that a bad offensive line cannot compensate for the best quarterback in the NFL, the best tight end in the league, as well as an all-pro wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. Like, they can't. It can't happen. The Chiefs did not score a touchdown. And if you bet that in the prop bets, you would have made a lot of money. Bucs, on the other hand, so respect what Jason Licht has done up front. Hammered the offensive line in the draft and then spent money to keep them. Like if Alex Kappa hadn't gotten hurt, and then they had Aaron Stinney, the UDFA in 2018, filling in his spot at right guard, the Bucs both started a first-round pick, Tristan Wirfs, number 13 overall this year, 2 second-rounders in Donovan Smith and Ali Marpet, both came in 2015, third-rounder in Alex Kappa, the pride of Humboldt, in 2018, and then free agent Ryan Jensen coming over from the Ravens in 2018, a big-time deal, right? That is not ignoring the offensive line. That is sinking draft capital. That is spending free agent money. That is sacking up money to giving Marpet and Donovan Smith big-time deals to keep them in-house. Plus, the Bucs could have gone a different direction at 13, but instead snagged Wirfs and has had one of the best rookie seasons for a tackle ever. He's only allowed 1 sack all season, including only 2 pressures and 0 sacks in all 4 playoff games combined. That's amazing. It is. And the unit as a whole only allowed 4 pressures. That's 11.8% rate and 1 sack. That's it. So if you flip things around, where Mahomes only got heat on 11% of his dropbacks and Brady got pressure on 60%, the Chiefs probably would have won by 70. I mean, that's how important everything was up front. And by the way, the Chiefs up front, they're no slouches. Like Chris Jones, Frank Clark, bona fide studs. Tano Pasno and Derek Nandi, solid. And the Bucs offensive line absolutely drank their milkshake. So not only were they phenomenal in pass protection, but once the game was in hand, they piss-pounded the Chiefs in the run game. Like Jones and Fournette combined for 150 yards rushing, 5.4 yards per attempt. Wow. It was amazing. So what lessons can the Vikings take away from the Super Bowl? Both of these squads, how they showed up. I think the Vikings will do everything that they can to retain Riley Reef. No, he is not flashy, but competence is what's needed in this game. Even though, yes, we can move Ezra Cleveland left tackle, everything will be hunky-dory, double and triple down on interior offensive linemen in the draft and free agency, sure, but I think that they do want that veteran presence. I mean, he is a team captain for a reason, so I think that they will try and keep him. Now, not at full freight, not $11 million plus at his salary in 2021, but that pay cut may not be as big as you would think, and potentially could be an extension candidate. Also, they have to re-sign Brian O'Neill now, like right now, while that rate may be cheaper before he hits free agency next offseason. Maintaining your in-house guys gives continuity and credibility. And I think that they do find the money. They sack up, throw it all at Joe Thuney, throw it all at Brandon Scherf, throw it all at Vince Lee. Land our version of a big-time free agent, Ryan Jensen in free agency. And the Vikings have taken swings before. You look at Alex Boone, you look at Riley Reef, you look at Mike Remmers. I mean, 1 out of 3, it's kind of bad. It ain't bad. Yeah, it is kind of bad. Yeah. And then also keep drafting 3 to 4 offensive linemen per year. Build that depth. Build that farm system because you may need it. As the Chiefs shown, you may need it because the tide may go out and you're going to see who's skinny dipping. So I love Kyle Hinton. I love Oli Udoh. Plus the composition of this year's draft on the interior offensive line. Guys like Trey Smith and David Moore and Quinn Maynors and Josh Myers and Deontay Brown and Aaron Banks and Jack Anderson and Ben Cleveland. Oh my, all in the 3rd and 4th round area where the Vikings are flush with picks. Get after it. So basically, the lessons that the Vikings learned from the Super Bowl is that lessons that they should have known in the first place. Build that bully up front, reward your guys, keep them in-house, and then get back to punching people in the faces. Because if you can't protect Kirk Cousins, it does not matter how good Justin friggin' Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Irv Smith and Gronklin are, right? And if you can't run block and control the line of scrimmage, Dalvin can't be Dalvin to his fullest extent. And also, how many times the Vikings failed to gain an inch when they needed a yard? And how many times that would have swung games in 2020? It's frustrating. But, I mean, Spielman needs to watch that Super Bowl over and over. It's like, oh, one team, good O-line, one team, bad O-line because of injuries and lack of depth. Yeah, so we have to get after it. So spend up, take care of your guys, and keep drafting, keep hammering it, and get after it in free agency. But that should be common sense. But again, from this franchise, don't always see that. But your thoughts, lessons, offensive line from the Super Bowl, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.